We worship with our attention. It determines the path we take, the timeline we inhabit, where our energy flows and who we are. We are free as any bird to choose what we worship, with the minutes and the hours and the days that we have. Free to focus on things sublime, or things mundane, or things dark and disturbing. We are free to focus on shopping, television, alcohol and money, anxieties and regrets, food and social media, fame and looking good, on objects to draw comfort from and to adorn ourselves with. Things we can taste and touch, buy and sell, wear and boost our ego with. They may be mass-produced, made of plastic and as hollow as a balloon, but what better things are there to worship with our attention? If it's spiritual things being hinted at here, the higher self or the source of all that is, or a deep state of presence and connection in the now, well, such things as these are abstract concepts. You cannot see them or touch them. They have no shape or colour. They have no smell or taste or texture. So what is there for our attention to grasp hold of there? What profit can there be in focusing upon and chasing and worshipping such abstract concepts? They can't be bought and sold, or worn, or eaten, or posed with on social media to make others jealous and to attract more subscribers. If we were to meditate and to focus upon such abstract things, upon our breath, upon presence, upon the eternal now, upon the highest and the deepest aspect of our being, then what do we profit by that investment, by that expenditure of time? What do we have to show for it at the end of all those hours and days and weeks? Nothing tangible. While others who choose to worship at the altar of other gods, the altar of the social media algorithm and of money, fame and possessions, have gained things to show for all the time they've spent. They have a payoff that can be seen and enjoyed and benefited from, that elevates their status in the world. A compelling argument for sure, writ large in the world around us, in every driver of a sports car, in every dweller of a mansion, in every YouTuber with subscribers in the thousands or the millions. But an argument that's missing one important fact, which is that there are two kinds of treasure that we can gather on the earth. One kind that's visible but has no true and lasting value because it's material, and sooner or later it rots or breaks or is lost or is stolen. And the other kind that's invisible but contains inherent value that stays with us forever because it's carried within us from one lifetime to another and becomes part of our innermost being. It is emotional peace and mental clarity, intuition and inspiration. It is wisdom, skills, virtues, and an ever-expanding consciousness. It is the true treasure that moths and rust cannot corrupt and thieves cannot break in and steal, though you must be prepared to look a pauper to acquire this real treasure. If you are prepared to make this difficult sacrifice and place your ego upon the altar, then listen on. Consider what you worship with your attention. Discard the discordant and the unsettling. Let go your anxieties and regrets. Let go the past and the future. Set aside your urge to compete with and outshine others, to emulate those who appear so successful and beautiful and happy in their endeavours. More often than not, I think it's fair to say, they are the weavers of illusions, and in their heart of hearts, the happiness and the peace and the beauty are not there. If you can clear from your attention all the clutter and distractions, the toxic people, toxic pastimes, the envy and the drama, leaving only what is necessary and uplifting, and embrace in its stead stillness and silence and the never-ending now, then you have taken the first step. If you can make of life a meditation, an unfolding work of art, where every gesture that you make and every activity that you engage in is considered and harmonious and flows with who you are, then you have taken the second step. If you can sit quietly in the morning and at night and focus on your breath, clearing all else from your mind when thoughts invariably arise, then you have taken the third step. Steps that needn't be taken quickly or taken to an extreme, propelling you from a novice to an adept in a single great bound, for that will likely fail. Proceed at your own pace and only go as far as feels right for you. Do not force change to happen. Do not fight and resist and create sudden pressures. Allow the transformation to happen slowly, like ice melting in winter sunlight. Proceed with patience and persistence, and if you stumble and regress or take a wrong turn, then forgive yourself and remind yourself there are no mistakes, just steps on a journey that spiral ever inward and help you to find yourself. A process that can be likened to transforming a patch of ground that is barren into a beautiful garden. First you clear the weeds and rocks, then you level and shape the soil, then you place each element with great care and consideration. A boulder here, a tree there, a pathway here, a wall there, grass here, ferns and flowers there, a pond over here, and a bench over there. It can take a lifetime. In fact, if done right, it's a process of refinement that evolves for all eternity. To begin such a journey, you must embrace what others fear: emptiness, stillness, silence. You must accept that no time is more important than now, no place is more important than here, and no activity is more important than what you're doing now. This is a departure. You're abandoning a well-known land to strike out into an unknown ocean. Before you've reached the other side, you will likely feel lost. But if you persist, you will reach the far shore, where the greatest of treasures will await you, for you will have come to know yourself. It is the timeless and the universal process of initiation. In this case, it is self-initiation, venturing into the dark unknown of the self and dying as an ego before emerging into the light of day to be reborn an immortal spirit, a being fearing nothing, lacking nothing, who is the master of their own destiny. We do not need the caverns or the mazes or the temples they once used to facilitate illumination if we venture into ourselves and become our own initiator, and thereby learn who we are, what our place is in the universe, and what our skills and passions and aspirations are, and how best to cultivate treasures, both spiritual and earthly. Am I right? Am I telling you the truth? I'm telling you my truth, and I'm walking upon this path. But I believe the steps that I've outlined here are timeless and universal, and will work for all those who have the will and the courage to take them. But only you can decide if this is the path for you. But whether it is or not, I will document my progress as I endeavour to take these steps, and you can follow along if you like, to see where it leads, into a great mystery perhaps, and an adventure.